Every sport has an argument for the best player ever. I've talked about Tom Brady, of course, but most sports don't have someone so out in front, it is basically not a question. Don Bradman is someone who clearly is. When his career ended, he had an insane average of 99.94 in test matches. He's clearly the best ever in cricket, and certainly test cricket. And in the world of darts, it is not a question either. It can only be the 16-time champion of the world. It's Phil. The Power Taylor.
Double 18 for a 9-darter for the Power.
Never in doubt. Never in doubt at all. As you see, Kevin Painter.
Other players have had a shot at the 9-darter. But only Phil Taylor looks like hitting it. I'm going to say it. That was never in doubt.
Could it be now? Treble 19. Double 12 for a 9-dart leg. There it is. 9-dart finish from Phil Taylor. Amazing. Amazing.
Born on the 13th of August 1960 in Stoke-on-Trent, England, to Doug and Liz Taylor, Phil showed an interest in darts and football as a child. But as a kid, he didn't take darts seriously. He left school at the age of 16, working a few jobs, including as a sheet metal worker. It wasn't until the age of 25 did Taylor take up the game of darts, and he really didn't take it seriously until 1988. In 1985, Taylor and his wife Yvonne dropped in for a drink at the Crafty Cockney, the pub owned by world champion Eric Bristow, with the pub's name taken from Bristow's nickname, and his wife Maureen. The two watched them play darts, and for his birthday 6 months later, Yvonne bought darts as a present for Phil. He started playing once a week. By 1987, he joined the Super League. In 1988, Bristow started sponsoring Taylor, and he gave up his job as a ceramic engineer to pursue darts. After struggling in his first year on the tour, he won his first event at the 1988 Canadian Open. But it wouldn't take long for success. After winning the 1990 World Masters, having been a semi-finalist in 1989, Taylor arrived for his first World Championship. Despite being a 125-1 outsider, he beat Russell Stewart in his first match 3-1. After a 3-0 win over Dennis Hickling, he beat Ronnie Sharp in the quarterfinals with a brilliant 150 checkout to claim the match 4-2. After whitewashing Cliff Lazarenko 5-0, he faced who else but the man who inspired him to play darts, Eric Bristow, the crafty Cockney, in the final. He had such a connection to Bristow that his nickname at the time was the Crafty Potter. Averaging 97.47, a man who started playing darts once a week 3 years earlier was world champion with a 6-1 win. Taylor averaged 93.56 over the event and won £24,000, in addition to a share of £1,000 for the highest checkout of the tournament. He actually won less money than Paul Lim, who, in addition to the £3,000 he received for a quarter-final appearance, won £52,000 for becoming the second ever person to hit a 9-dart finish in a televised match. Taylor played well through the rest of 1990, including winning the World Masters. In 1991, his title defence ended to eventual winner Dennis Priestley, and he wasn't as good in 1991, but bounced back by winning the 1992 World Championship 6-5 in a sudden death leg, which Taylor has ranked as one of his favourite victories over his career. That career was about to go down a road little expected. The popularity of darts had increased through the 1980s, and this caused angst for players who felt the British Darts Organisation, the BDO, were not doing as well as they could. The 1993 World Championships was the last unified World Championship. Taylor lost in the second round. 16 players, including every single player who had won a BDO World Championship, helped form the World Darts Council, except one, Leighton Rees. The reason he did not defect was because he was retired. He was not an active player. As the BDO refused to allow the new organisation to organise their own tournaments, they would not participate in another BDO World Darts Championship. So the first WDC World Championship was the 1994 edition, which, like editions to come, started in December of the previous year and will end early into the year for which the edition of the World Championship carries its name. Taylor made the final but lost to Dennis Priestley 6-1. Taylor's failure to win a World Championship would not happen again for a while. The World Championship is the biggest event on the darts calendar. The second biggest is the World Match Play, held at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. At the second edition in 1995, Taylor only lost 4 legs, in the quarterfinal against Paul Lim and in the semi-final against John Lowe. In the final, he got the better of Dennis Priestley 16 legs to 11. In the second WDC World Darts Championship final, Taylor took the title, his third World Championship, with a win over Rod Harrington. Following his victory over Rod Harrington, Taylor seemed to click into gear for the event at the Circus Tavern. In a replay of the 1994 final, the 1996, 1997 and 1998 final are all matchups between Taylor and Priestley, with Taylor winning on all 3 occasions. On the 30th of January 1997, after fighting each other in court, the BDO and WDC representatives reached a compromise in the form of a Tomlin order. The BDO lifted the ban on the WDC players, recognised the WDC and its right to stage professional competitions, and agreed that all players could freely participate in any tournament. In return, the WDC agreed to remove the word world from their name, renaming themselves as the Professional Darts Corporation. The PDC recognised the World Darts Federation as the governing body for darts worldwide, and the BDO as the governing body for darts in the UK. So, all World Championships Taylor would play in are the PDC, not WDC, World Darts Championship, as the BDO continued to conduct their own equivalent event, with winners of both events referred to as a World Champion.
There were 2 World Champions, a bit like boxing.
Taylor added the World Grand Prix to his resume after beating Rod Harrington 13-8, with the sets in this tournament being played to the best of 3 legs. Taylor defended his World Grand Prix title in 1999, with the tournament format changing to the sets being played to the best of 5 legs. Taylor beat Shane Burgess 6-1. Taylor would continue his World Championship dominance with his 1999 win over Peter Manley. Taylor faced the then BDO World Champion Raymond van Barneveld, winning by 21 legs to 10 in what was dubbed the Match of the Century at the Wembley Conference Centre. Taylor claimed the unique feat of being a Millennium World Champion when in 2000 he overcame Priestley again, and he also won the 2001 World Championship over John Part in the final. Taylor would go on to beat Peter Manley in the World Championship final again in 2002, this time winning by a whitewash 7-0, with Manley storming off the stage and not shaking Taylor's hand. During this time, Taylor's dominance was being felt at Blackpool, winning 5 straight World Match Plays, beating in the final Alan Warner-Little, Richie Burnett, John Part, Wayne Mardell and Mark Dudbridge. By 2002, Taylor was a true star, but he had not hit a 9-dart leg. That changed at the 2002 World Match Play.
Mace knew this was going to happen. Look at him come again with another max. Oh, it's incredible! He's in before to get the idea out.
In the furnace heat that Taylor's power exudes.
Oh, he's thinking about it. Oh, he's on it again. He's on the 9-darter. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He's on the 9-darter for £100,000.
3 darts away from £100,000. It's never been seen live on television.
History
Miss
potentially in the making.
Got to get the treble 20 with the first dart.
Yes, he's got it. Treble 19. Double 12 for history! History! He's done it! He did it! He's hit the 9 darts! 100,000 quid!
It was the first 9-dart finish televised live in the UK. Taylor's consecutive World Championships ended in the 2003 final against John Part. Part rushed out to a 3-0 and 4-1 lead. Taylor won 6 of the next 8 sets to take it to a 13th set. But after missing a shot at the bullseye, which would have extended the match for at least 2 more legs, Part completes a 77 checkout by hitting double 20 to break Taylor's 8-year-long stranglehold on the PDC World Championship event.
John Part wants tops to sink Taylor and does it! John Part of Canada, in the greatest game ever seen by Sky, beats the 10 times world champion!
Taylor added the UK Grand Prix to his trophy cabinet when he beat Burgess in the final 18 legs to 8. For the second straight year, Taylor would beat Part in the final of the World Grand Prix, leading up to his attempt to regain the World Championship crown. He had lost 12 months earlier. Taylor would return to claim his World Championship crown and faced off in a final up against Kevin Painter. In the match, Taylor trailed 4-1 and 5-3, but just like when he faced Part, he brought himself back into the contest to level things at 6 sets all. Unlike the 2003 World Championship final, the 2004 final would go beyond 5 legs in the last set, and in fact required a sudden death 11 leg. Taylor threw much better darts, and Taylor got to a finish before Painter did, and had a chance to regain the World Championship.
Epic it's been! Now can we sort it out by this? 2 10s! 2 5s to become world champ again. Bill Taylor has sweated and hoped for 12 months. Yvonne Tuttle's Natalie. Painter is gracious in defeat. The power is once again champion of the world!
Taylor described himself as a very lucky man, claiming that Kevin outplayed me, referring to the epic World Championship final the previous year, in which he had been defeated by Part. Taylor added, "Last year was a good final, but this is one of the best." For the second time, Taylor played a then BDO world champion. The match came in 2004 against Andy Fordham at the Circus Tavern. Taylor was leading 5-2 in sets when Fordham suffered a suspected asthma attack and had to abandon the match. Taylor remained at the top of his game through 2004, winning his 7th World Match Play and the 2005 World Championship, which was his 12th. Darts was as big as ever, which led to the creation of a brand new major event. The Premier League darts began in 2005. The format has changed plenty of times, but the idea has always been to get a select few players right at the top of the game to play off from February to May on Thursday nights before the top 4 play on playoff night, and along with the World Championship and World Match Play, make up the sport's Triple Crown. Despite the fact that it is a non-ranking event, meaning the prize money won, which is a lot, does not count for the purpose of the PDC Order of Merit. A unique feature through most Premier League formats is the potential for a match to be drawn. In the first Premier League campaign, Taylor won every match bar one, which was a draw in week 1 against Colin Lloyd. Taylor faced Lloyd in the final, winning the match 16 legs to 4. After his defeat to Part in the 2003 World Championship final, Taylor was probably in the best form of his career. Taylor claimed the UK Open and World Grand Prix in 2005 before his 13th World Championship. Just like in 2005, Taylor won the 2006 Premier League, losing no matches and drawing 1. The 2007 edition of the PDC World Championship came in the aftermath of Taylor winning another World Match Play, his 8th, and World Grand Prix, his 7th. Taylor had little issue getting to the final, losing only 2 sets and winning 22. The final pitted 13-time and defending champ Phil Taylor against 4-time BDO World Champion Raymond van Barneveld. That final was arguably the greatest darts match ever played. Taylor won the first 8 legs of the match, leading 2-0 in sets and legs. Barneveld only had 1 darted double in that time, a missed bullseye for a 1-6-7 finish. Barneveld won his first leg of the contest in the 9th leg of the match, but Taylor closed out the set to lead 3-0. Barneveld got on the board by winning all 3 legs in the 4th set, closing it out with the tournament's highest 3-dart checkout, the maximum 170. He came from 2-1 down to win the 5th set in a decider, and was now only 1 set behind. Taylor took the 6th set, then Barneveld took the 7th, to stay just 1 set behind. Taylor claimed the next set to lead 5-3, but Barneveld turned the game on its head when he won 6 out of the next 7 legs to draw level. He then came from 2 legs to 0 down to win the 11th, and led for the very first time. The 12th set also went to a deciding leg, this time Taylor winning it, meaning for the 3rd time in 5 years, the final of the PDC World Championship needed a 13th set to determine the winner. With a 2 legs to 1 lead, Barneveld had the chance to win the World Championship with a 120 checkout, but the match darted double top misses. The 13th set literally alternates between Van Barneveld winning a leg and then Taylor winning a leg. For its first 10 legs, nothing could separate them, but a sudden death leg must be played. Once again, a throw for the bull will determine who gets the advantage of throwing first. Taylor threw first for the bull and hit 25. Then Barneveld, unconventionally, asked for Taylor's dart to be left in. Taylor's dart, being below the bull, was in good position to be used as a guide, and it deflected Barneveld's dart into the bull. Taylor would have to break Barneveld's throw to win the match. After Barneveld scored 100, Taylor set out to do just that.
Thank you.
That's inviting two more to join it, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it?
Barneveld was not allowing Taylor to get away with it.
10th one in by Taylor. Donnie's 21st.
It's incredible! The Thesaurus out! Undescribable tension here!
When one hits a 180 in these circumstances and the other responds in kind, you can only stand back and admire.
Barneveld had the chance to take the title again with double top but missed. Taylor could have won the match after that, but he missed treble with his first darts, meaning Barneveld would have 3 darts to win his 5th World Championship.
Greatest year of his life!
Points require 40.
Tops he wants.
And he gets it! Barneveld is the champion of the world!
He goes out Bristol's 5-title record! What a player!
What a player! What a comeback!
If ever a darts match should have ended a draw, this was the one. It took to the last possible leg, with both players having their chances. Barneveld finished the match with a 3-dart average of 100.93, and Taylor was barely lower at 100.86. What is crazy is we only need to switch the results of 2 sets, the last set in both the 2003 and 2007 final, and give those sets to Taylor and not his opponent, and he would have won a crazy 13 straight PDC World Championships. The match ended a run for Taylor where he'd won 16 consecutive televised finals that he appeared in. That match was the last PDC World Darts Championship final to be played at the Circus Tavern, as all future events will be played at the Alexandra Palace, aka the Ali Pali, in London. 2007 was an off year for Taylor. He would beat Van Barneveld to win his 2nd US Open, with his only other finals appearance being at the Premier League and at the inaugural Grand Slam of Darts, which of course he won. Having appeared in 14 out of 14 PDC World Darts Championship finals between 1994 and 2007, Taylor's record run came to an end in 2008, where he was beaten in the quarter-final. Taylor had been taken to the final set in each of his first 3 rounds, before eventually losing to Wayne Mardell 5-4 in sets despite leading 3-0 at one stage. Taylor had vowed back in October 2007 that despite his recent poor run of form, he would continue until 2012. 2008 was back to usual for the power, having unveiled some new black 26-gram darts. He started poorly in the Premier League, which included 3 defeats in his first 4 matches. Taylor ultimately finished at the top of the Premier League standings. He beat Adrian Lewis 11-1 with a 112.68 average in the semi-final, and went on to win his 4th consecutive Premier League title with a 16-8 victory over James Wade, whilst averaging 108.36. At the World Match Play, he faced Wade, looking for his 9th World Championship victory. And if you want 20 seconds of what Phil Taylor, the darts player, is all about, here it is.
Can Phil Taylor finish in a glorious hurrah? No. Treble 19 for Bull, but the Bull looks like it's covered. Can he possibly squeeze in there? He's covered the dart, he's moved right over the stage, Sid.
Annie Oakley couldn't hit this with the best rifle, but the power can! Fantastic match!
Perhaps the greatest dart ever thrown gave Taylor another win at Blackpool. After winning his 8th World Grand Prix, the first ever European Championship, and his 2nd Grand Slam of Darts, Taylor would beat Van Barneveld 7-1 for his 14th World Championship title. His 110.94 3-dart average was the highest recorded in a PDC final, and he averaged 104.08 for the whole tournament. 2009 would be another good year for Taylor. He would also win the World Match Play, the World Grand Prix, the European Darts Championship, achieving a 3-dart average in the tournament of 111.54, and for the third successive time, the Grand Slam of Darts in November. Taylor began 2010 by winning his 15th World Championship title. He beat Simon Whitlock in the final 7-3 with an average of 104.38 and sealed the victory with a 131 checkout. Having reached the final of the 2010 Premier League facing James Wade, Taylor did something never done before. Yes, even at this stage of his career, there were still things he hadn't done. The odds of a 9-dart leg are astronomical, even for the very best players, so it was special to see Taylor hit a 9-darter in the second leg of the Premier League final.
147 shot then for a 9-dart finish from Philip Taylor. Hold your breath. Treble 17. Double 18 for a moment of history.
He did it! He did it! A 9-darter in answer. I do not believe my Godlin bins.
Later in the contest, with the match tied at 7 legs all, Taylor hit back-to-back 180s before doing this.
Second for the first time in darting history.
They are both coming down in 9-darter style first pop. Treble 19. Double 12! Dave Lanning, say it! Cause I'm gobsmacked! I am gobsmacked! Say it, Dave!
You are present in a moment of the greatest sporting history, certainly in darts. 2 9-darters in one night from Phil Taylor. Tell your grandchildren about that. That's the dart that did it for Phil Taylor, and that is historic.
Dave Lanning said in leg 5 he thought Phil was after 2. I concurred. 2 9-darters in one match. You wouldn't believe it.
The first time it had ever been done, 2 9-dart legs in a single match. Fair to say, Taylor won that match against James Wade to win his 5th Premier League title. Taylor kept on winning in 2010 over Gary Anderson at the UK Open, over Raymond van Barneveld at the World Match Play, over Wayne Johns at the European Championship. However, he was defeated in the World Grand Prix, the Grand Slam, as well as a surprising loss to Mark Webster 5-2 in the quarter-final of the 2011 World Championship. He would bounce back by winning the first major tournament in 7 months of the 2011 Players Championship by beating Gary Anderson 13 legs to 12 in a thrilling final. Taylor went on to win the World Match Play for the 12th time in 18 years in 2011. He beat Mark Halton, Wayne Johns, Wes Newton, Andy Hamilton, and James Wade 18 legs to 8 in the final. His overall tournament average was more than 106. 1 week later, Taylor went to Dusseldorf to compete in the 2011 European Championship. He was aiming to win his 4th consecutive European title, and he did just that by averaging 105.15 and defeating Adrian Lewis in the final 11 legs to 8. Taylor had won the Grand Slam of Darts in November 2011, but failed to reach the quarterfinals for the first time at a World Championship at the 2012 edition, in the aftermath of losing in the last 16 of the Players' Championship finals. 2012 wasn't as good of a year for Taylor, but he won a 13th World Match Play, a 3rd Players' Championship finals, and a 5th Grand Slam of Darts, which 2012 also saw Taylor, along with Lewis, win the 2012 World Cup of Darts for England in a nerve-wracking sudden death leg against Australian pair Simon Whitlock and Paul Nicholson.
For the World Cup, for the world champion. Can still do it, treble 17. Can still do it, treble 17 for double 16. No, 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 no. And
32.
so now, Paul Nicholson, the adopted Aussie,
56.
is potentially 2 darts from winning the World Cup for the Australians.
Pure nerves from Adrian Lewis. Nicholson takes his time. Wants double top to be crowned a World Cup winner. Low. Double 10 to be a World Cup winner.
36.
He has missed 2 darts for Australia to be crowned world champions. It may not happen now.
56.
And now, you couldn't wish for a better man to strike for glory. Taylor, 15 times world champion for tops, for double 10 for England.
46.
Even the man that has won everything
Australia, you require
has crumbled
20.
under the pressure. They were not good darts at all. It's all too much. You can tell by the players' faces.
Nicholson and Taylor have blown their chances. Can Whitlock take his? Double five, he can't come inside. He has come inside.
No score.
Well, three of them have had a go, Wayne. And perhaps fittingly enough, it's the world champion himself.
England, you require 10.
The man who's hit 2 doubles to win world championships, who gets the chance now.
Well, Adrian Lewis has looked the most nervous man up there.
Game.
He is the one.
2012.
He goes to his knees.
Coming out.
They are celebrating. England are World Cup winners.
He lost only 9 legs on the way to the semi-final at the 2013 World Championship, where he played Raymond van Barneveld, who had said before the match he would rather face Taylor than his quarterfinal opponent Andy Hamilton. Taylor withstood a strong fight back from Van Barneveld before winning 6-4. After the match, Taylor reacted angrily when Van Barneveld attempted to pull him back to congratulate him after their handshake. The pair were escorted from the stage separately by security staff. The next day, Taylor apologised for his behaviour, which he described as disgraceful. Taylor faced Michael van Gerwen in the final, and from 4-2 down, won 5 sets in a row to become a 16-time champion of the world. Taylor would continue racking up titles, winning his 5th UK Open, a 14th World Match Play, an 11th World Grand Prix, a 5th Grand Slam of darts, which included an amazing semi-final against Adrian Lewis, where Lewis averaged slightly more, but still lost 16 legs to 9 in one of the best quality matches ever played, and winning the first ever edition of the non-ranked event, the Masters. 2013 was the last glory year for Taylor, as the threat of him wavering finally came to fruition. From 2014 to 2016, all he won was a World Match Play, a Grand Slam of darts, and the first edition of the Champions League of darts. He nearly won a 17th world title, but lost 7-6 to Gary Anderson in the 2015 final. Though he still achieved something no one had previously done after that 2015 final loss, at the 2015 Sydney Dart Masters, where he hit the first 9-dart finish in both a World Series of Darts event and the first 9-dart finish in a televised match in the Australasian region. It was his 11th and last televised 9-dart leg. He and Lewis would dominate the World Cup of Darts, also winning every edition from 2012 to 2016. On the 27th of January 2017, in an interview conducted before the start of the 2017 Masters, Taylor officially confirmed that he would retire after the 2018 World Championship, and he would cut his appearances in the 2015 season. He did not play at the Grand Prix or UK Open. He reached the semi-final of the Masters before losing 11 legs to 9 to Gary Anderson. He finished 3rd in the table in the 2017 Premier League and trailed Peter Wright 4 legs to 0 in the semi-final. Taylor gained the lead for the first time at 7-6, but missed chances at double, including one to win the match, and was beaten 10 legs to 9. Taylor did make a final appearance at the World Match Play, which he had previously said was his favourite tournament. If he wanted to win the tournament, he had a hard run. He defeated long-time career rivals Van Barneveld, Van Gerwen, Lewis, before beating Peter Wright 18 legs to 8 in the final. Taylor also won a World Series event in his final season, when in August Taylor won the inaugural Melbourne Darts Masters by successfully defeating Peter Wright 11 legs to 8 in the final. He entered the World Championship ranked 6th in the world. Wins over Chris Dobie, Justin Pipe, Keegan Brown, Gary Anderson, and Jamie Lewis took him to his 21st World Final, extending his own record. In a reverse of his first World Championship final, he was the master, playing against a debutant at the tournament, Rob Cross. During the match, Taylor almost hit a 9-dart finish, missing double 12. He had done everything in his career, but hit a 9-darter at the World Championship. He lost that leg, which was an insight on how the match would go. Rob Cross beat Taylor 7-2. Taylor would return to darts on the Seniors Tour and made 2 finals in 2022, which he lost. His last match was at the 2024 World Seniors Darts Championships, where he was beaten 3-2 by debutant Manfield Bidderell. He took on Michael van Gerwen one last time in The Last Dance, where he was convincingly beaten 4 legs to 0. There have been so many talented darts players, many of whom are remembered as greats. They could do things that made you think, I can't do that. Phil Taylor, who reminded did not take the game seriously until he was in his mid-20s, did something special in almost every game. He was impressive even in defeat. He was remarkable even when he made mistakes.
72. He's miscounted. Phil Taylor has miscounted. He's bust. He's taken out 139. It's catching. You can look at all you like, Phil. You've miscounted, my man.
He was a legend, even though he didn't bow out in the perfect way. The Phil Taylor Trophy is now presented to the winner of the World Match Play. Like Don Bradman, it could have ended perfectly, but it didn't need to, because he will always be the greatest ever. Taylor has a winning record over basically everyone he played. Michael Van Gerwen was his hardest opponent, but he still beat him in 54.84% of their matches. He hit 11 televised 9-darters, more than anyone else, though the still active Van Gerwen with 10 has the chance to topple that. Every year from 1999 to 2013, he won the most prize money across both the PDC and the BDO. He had a career average of 101.28. Phil Taylor was something truly special and will always be remembered as someone who pulled out all the stops to be the best in the world. And that is how the world will remember him. Forever. He was the power.
2-5 to become world champ again.